Hello everyone, it's Leo, and in this video we're going to check out Healing Good PreCure news. We're going to check out episode titles, magazine scans, and merchandise. Lots of new stuff coming our way concerning Healing Good, so let's start. First off, let's start with the episode titles, and we're going to see episodes 10 to 13, which are... Episode 10 is going to be called Emergency Treatment. There's multiple Megabyogen. Episode 11, Combining Powers, Miracle Healing. Episode 12, Thoughts as One, The Great Teamwork Plan. And episode 13, To Quit or Not to Quit, A Confused Hinata. Together with those episodes, let's check out the scans so that we can talk about what's going to happen or what might happen in those episodes since we don't really know. So in this first scan here, we can see the girls going to the museum, which is the plot of episode 10. We've already seen that in the preview of episode 9, in the preview on episode 9. And Latte is getting sick, probably with the attack of the Megabyogens, and the girls are going to transform, and we go to the next scan. We can see that the same elements, at least one element has been turned into a Megabyogen again, which is the flower element that Cure Grace uses. It's been turned into a Megabyogen once more, and Cure Grace is fighting, and that enemy she's probably having a hard time. So what I think is the three main elements are going to become Megabyogens once more. So we're going to see 3 Megabyogens fighting the girls, 3 Megabyogens, and they're probably going to have a hard time fighting against them. And in this scan, we can see the new item in which they put into the wand and they fight with it. And this is probably their new attack. And they're using the new attack in that other page. And so the element that was tainted is healed, Latte's healed, everything's fine. So we do have this new element coming up, and this new item coming up, which is that one with wings. But first, before we talk about the item itself, let's talk about the names of the episodes. So episode 10 is called Emergency Treatment. There's multiple Megabyogen. So this is going to be the episode in which they go to the museum. They're going to be attacked by lots of Megabyogens. And they're probably going to have a hard time against them. And in episode 11, we have Combining Powers, Miracle Healing. So in episode 11, it seems that it's the episode they are getting the power up. It's the episode they're getting the group attack, and not in episode 10. So maybe they're going to start fighting in episode 10, they're going to have a hard time fighting in episode 10, and in episode 11 they get the power up. Or maybe they're going to be able to defeat the multiple Megabyogen in episode 10 and get the item and use it in episode 11. I don't know. My bet is it's starting in episode 10 and ending in episode 11. So they're getting their powers together, and they're gonna try to win against those multiple threats with the new power. And then we have episode 12, Thoughts as One, The Great Teamwork Plan, which is probably another one of those bonding episodes we're having in Healing Good. And episode 13 is called To Quit or Not to Quit, A Confused Hinata. And again, this is another Hinata episode, and I think that this is probably when Hinata's getting her second bottle. The other 2 girls already got their bottles. I thought that Hinata was getting it in episode 9. It didn't happen. And it's probably happening in episode 13. And like those bottles, let's be honest, they don't really mean much. Like getting a second bottle doesn't mean much to the girls or even to the plot so far. So it doesn't really surprise me that Hinata's getting like her second bottle a little later than the other girls. Like, at first, I thought they were going to use their second bottles in the group attack, but it's not the case. They're getting like a special different item, and it seems that the first bottles, the first spirits are connected to this. So like those second bottles so far, like they haven't been big. They haven't had like a huge importance in the story or the plot or whatever. It's like kind of a toned down item just for them to use, and obviously for Toy to get some coins. And now let's take a look at the item itself. We have some merchandise photos of this, and it's basically a heart with wings and with 3 little hearts inside with the colors of the Healing Good girls, pink, blue, and yellow. And we can see like you can touch the heart and it makes a sound. So this heart is going to be used inside the wand. Like this is something I wasn't expecting. When I saw this heart for the first time, I thought they were going to use it by itself, but no. They're going to put it in the wand where they put the bottles. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm very curious to see how this is going to create a new power and how this is going to enhance their powers. I'm very curious. And you know, it looks good in the promo images. I like it. It looks interesting. The physical version doesn't really look that good, to be honest, but in the drawings itself, like it looks beautiful. I think in the series itself, it's gonna look beautiful. It's gonna look nice. And we can also see like a little girl playing with it and the power coming out. We can see lots of hearts coming out of it, but it seems that we're gonna have like lots of different powers coming, at least based on this scan, because we can see hearts coming, flowers coming from Grace, lights coming from Sparkle, and ice coming from Fontaine. I think Fontaine doesn't have anything. Poor Fontaine. But yeah, that's basically it. So that's basically what we have for Healing Good so far. Those are the news. Some interesting episodes coming up. I'm very curious to see the power up and their group attack. I think it's going to be very interesting. And now I just want to talk a little bit about something else, which is a theory concerning the 4th cure. So far, we haven't had actual leaks of her image, so we don't really know who she is. And in the latest seasons of PreCure, we saw them, like we knew about them way before the series started. In this case, it wasn't different, but usually in March, we already had the images of the 4th cure or the 6th ranger of the season. And now we don't. And so like theories coming up, and there is one theory that's very interesting that was shared by Inuba, Shiri, and Hibiki on Twitter, in which they said that it's very possible that Shindoine is going to be the 4th cure, Shindoine the villain. And they listed some reasons why. One of them is that Shindoine is being very prominent in the series as a whole. She's been appearing a lot. The second one is that we haven't had other secondary characters appearing a lot in Healing Good, and that's something that's a little strange because usually in those past seasons we've seen that those 5th Rangers, they appear in one way or another, maybe in the opening or in the episodes themselves. At this point in time, they've already been introduced to this series. In Hugto, in Star Twinkle. In Star Twinkle, it took a little more for Uni to appear, if I'm not mistaken, but we saw her in the opening and it was clear that she had something to do with the story, with the plot and everything. And so Shindoine has been very prominent. She has like a big rift against the other two. Like they all have rifts against each other, but she has a very big rift against those two. And maybe something can happen that can turn her into the 4th girl. And we already know that the 4th cure is going to be purple based on all of the hints we've received. And Shindoine is a purple girl. You know, she is basically a purple girl. And I even questioned Inu, like when we were talking about this theory, I said, I think that it's going to be someone who hasn't appeared before, like your Ace and Aguri. And he said, well, the thing is, when Cure Ace appeared, there was a lot of backlash. There was a lot of hate towards her appearance and her identity because people wanted Regina and they didn't get, and they're probably not going to try that again. So it's like very up in the air. Like this is a very good point, actually. Like they're probably not trying the same route as Cure Ace because, you know, it didn't hit the mark they wanted. Probably, we don't really know, but I think like at least in the fandom, it didn't hit the mark they wanted. And like, I think that it left a bitter taste in lots of people's mouths. I love Cure Ace, but I have to admit, most people didn't like her, and most people didn't like the way she appeared and everything. So they might not repeat it with this one. So we don't really know. It's all up for grabs now. Grab your theories, grab your ideas. Lots of things can happen. My take is that she hasn't appeared yet, and she's still going to appear. But you know, if Shindo Ine is the one, I'm going to love it because she is awesome. Anyways, guys, that is what we have so far for Healing Good. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.